What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, honey, to talk about I was about to say love and marriage, married to medicine. Um, Toya and Eugene, they're standing around. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, let me know you stopped by. The episode was okay. It was like almost like a filler episode. Toya and Eugene were sitting around talking about spending quality time with each other. And Toya wants to go out more. She doesn't want the quality time that they spend together to be always at home. She wants to go out on dates more. And he's like, okay. But he does work, what, how many hours a week? How many hours? 60 hours, 20 hours, 20-hour days, or some, it was something crazy that he works. The time that he's actually working. I was like, damn, Eugene. But Eugene's up there cooking. Toya's up there. I feel like, I feel like there's a thin line here, right? I feel like what women are used to in relationships is doing a lot of the work, right? And what we see with Eugene and Toya is he does a lot of the work. Like he's doing work too. He's working. Plus, we see him at home. We've seen Eugene multiple times cooking, preparing, doing things at home. So we see he's not just sitting around like we saw like in a scene later where Gregory comes out of another room and tells what's her name that he's hungry. Like, nigga, you don't know who was making your plate when nobody was here. So basically, you've hired a server, a maid. Anyways, so I can. This is where I think there's a thin line happens. Eugene is doing what people in relationships should do. This should be normal. Like how him and they're doing equal work around the home. They're involved, they're engaged, they're present, they're attuned to their partner, they're listening and all that stuff. That's regular. But because when we look in the real world outside of all this, we see that their men don't typically show up the way Eugene shows up. So the complaining that Toya does to where it seems like Eugene can't, it almost seems like Eugene is not doing enough. Like whatever he does, it's not enough. She seems to be unsatisfied. Like you can't please her no matter what he does, right? And so Toya comes off as being unappreciative and a little bit inconsiderate, right? Even the way that she was scoring him on the date out, right? And then how she was like, oh, like every step she took, it was her critiquing how well he's done or not, right? And I thought that was so weird, and it makes her to me unlikable. Like I don't find you likable because every step you took where this person was listening to you and extended himself to do this thing, to listen to you, and you still were harshly criticizing him. And where some people would be like, what Eugene is doing is normal. So he shouldn't be praised or given a 10 because he's doing something like by listening to his wife and following through with things she's asking for. So at the same time, with him actually following through with what she's asking for, but her criticizing it every step of the way, it come for me. I was like cringing when I was watching her just like criticize the whole thing and then tell him, when they finally did go out, that he did this for himself, right? He got a chef and they had some great steak, some wagyu steak, and they had and it was buttery and this and that. And, Eugene likes to cook. So he took her out and she was like, okay, this is what, okay. And it was almost like you want to be this rich, black, snooty black woman where you just literally, play tennis in the morning, go and have your smoothie after tennis, and then start preparing for the kids to come home, have a little glass of wine. You want to have a very easy breezy life, and like y'all have these things, but then when Eugene shows you something, you act like, oh, okay, this is, you act like you don't have anything. So it's weird because I always remember how Eugene admitted that they're really the first ones in their families to have access to the resources that they have, and they mismanaged their money a lot when they first got when they started getting their hands on money. I remember Eugene saying that. And look, Toya wants to be, this rich black woman who is living this life of leisure, having a wine club and the tennis club and all this. And it's great. I love it. I think it's great. But you're like almost, it seems like you're unappreciative that this man does work hard, and he is, um, dedicated to his job. As she said, he took an oath, right, to be, to care for people. And I feel like Eugene takes his job seriously. Like Eugene and Damon, I feel like they take their job seriously. Nothing against Dr. Simone and Jackie, but like, to men in healthcare, you want them to be compassionate and caring, because outside of that, it's kind of difficult for them to show that. So you like to see a kind, compassionate, empathetic man, especially in healthcare. You need them, right? And so you have this nice guy he caters to his wife, but then she's like complaining the whole way. I think I've gotten my point across with Toya and how I feel like she just feels, it just seems like she's unappreciative. And like what Eugene is doing is not something that is like, oh my God, he's doing these great things. It's just very small things, like taking your wife out on a date, or, making a meal for her, or doing those things, taking her weave out, doing those kind of things. She wants to go out on a date. He makes the date and she's criticizing it the whole way. And then when he asks, how did I do? She gives him a 7 out of 10. It's like, girl, damn. He was like, damn, I don't even get. But then at the same time, it's like, what you're doing is not that great. This is regular. Like, this is regular. You should be taking your wife out. But then when you add all of the variables to what Eugene does and how hard he works, and he's really the only one, outside of her Married to Medicine checks and all her other little ventures that she does, he's the primary breadwinner. She contributes to the household, but he's the primary breadwinner. And from what we know, she makes more than him now with this show. So that's how I feel about Eugene and Toya and their quality time stuff. Simone and Cecil go to the boys' condo that Simone bought as an investment property, but the boys are going to live there. Miles and Michael. And they had some nice bar stools. You see those bar stools? I was like, those bar stools are nice. They had condoms everywhere, which was really fun. And she was like, to go with your outfit. It was funny. But again, we have the same conversation as on Beverly Hills with Garcelle and her sons. Have this duo is a little bit older than Garcelle's twins. They're 16 or 17. And these young fellas are 20, 19 and 21 or 24 or something like that. They're like older young adults. Okay. And so they're getting the house ready. They're making sure, that's when Cecil tells them that we don't want to be grandparents. We're just, starting to enjoy being empty nesters, but we don't want to be grandparents. Use these condoms. Make sure you guys are protecting yourselves. And not just that, again, the conversation needs to not only come from mom, but this is when conversations from men kind of hold a little bit more weight, where other men are telling younger males that to respect their bodies, and to kind of dismantle the messaging where you're telling boys to men that a testament of their manhood is how many women they knock down, how many women they smash, how many notches on their belt. They need to get out of disrespecting, and then also telling them about consent. No means no. If they tell you to stop mid-stroke, you better fucking stop mid-stroke and pull out, okay? And stand up and move away. If somebody says no, whatever, consent is period. Both people, to explain to them coercion. Don't try to talk anybody into. There's no such thing as blue balls. Go jack off. You don't need nobody to do anything else. If they say no, do not try to coerce them into doing it. That is RAPE. Like, you have to explain it, and you can't be cutesy about it, and you can't, add little cute names and pet names to things. You have to be very clear to these boys, and you have to explain to them and be forthright with them and transparent with them. It's not just a baby. You can be accused of RAPE, You need to stop. There should be no question. Anybody drunk or anything drinking like that, she cannot give, a drunk person cannot give consent. So don't be having sex with a drunk girl. She couldn't give you consent to have sex, no matter what she's doing or how it looks like. You might think she wants none of that. Like, those conversations need to be plain, and it needs to come from a woman, and it needs to come from a man. You need a man to reinforce that, because so many other men are going to come and tell them the opposite of that. So you have to counter what they're going to be met with. Okay. So that was that with them. Um, Heavenly and Damon, it was so endearing to see Damon crying about his daughter going off to school. And they, Heavenly was outside. She was looking at pictures of Alaura. Alaura is about to go to FAMU, and he was like, "Who would have thought? Who would have thought that, our daughter would be going to the school you went to?" It was so cute. It was just so cute. And you're like, everybody talks about how fast kids grow up and get out of the house, and you got to let them go and make their own decisions, and just be a manager. Like, back up a little bit, just back up a little bit and watch. And if they need help, you be there, like, to kind of help, not hinder or enable, but to help and be there and offer advice, not to control, not to tell them what, maybe you might say what I would do, but not try to get them to do what you would do. Let them make their own decisions, because that's a part of life. That's it. It's a part of life. And you gotta let them go. And they say it's a time and a place for everything, and that's college. Shout out to Alaura. Have a good time, baby girl. But keep up, your grades and all that other stuff. But have a good time, and that's a place to do it. Have those experiences. Um, she wants to talk to her sister, because that was her mother's dying wish. And apparently, from the way that Heavenly describes it, it seems like the mother came in, was the kind of cause between Heavenly and her sister having problems. Heavenly used to say, she said it several times, that what's her name, Mariah, it reminded her of her sister. And that's the issue that, like, kind of shaped the issues that Heavenly had with Mariah. She was the pretty girl, basically got away with just being pretty. She didn't have to be smart. Heavenly was in the books, in the house. She was a social butterfly. So you had this one. So I would like to see that. I think that would be great to see that part of Heaven. But if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to. I don't feel like any of these relationships that people are people, and quote, mothers are vessels that people come out of, right? Your siblings, right? You have the same mother, same father, but they're just people too. And you don't have to maintain relationships with people just because y'all came out of the same vessel, or y'all are related by, cousins, or related in any kind of way. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all cousins, and people are just people. And so you don't have to maintain these relationships with other people who you don't want to maintain relationships with them. They're not obligated. You're not obligated. If a person tells you, I don't want to have a relationship with you, you should listen to them and respect them, and not affirm the reason why they don't want you around them by still trying to contact them and getting, why are you doing that? I don't want to have a relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? So nobody should make Heavenly try to get in a relationship with her sister where she doesn't want to be in a relationship with her. I'm not in that group of people where you only get one, you only get one, you only get one, you only get one me. God damn it. Don't what about you? They only get one you. Why you only get one mama, you only get one dad, you only get one whatever the fuck they label they want to put, you only get one, they only get one you. So if they want you around or not, or if you don't want to be around them, they need to respect that. And that's on period. And that's it. Um Phaedra and Alicia, they went out, they talk about Napa. And after Quad left, it felt like a weight was lifted. Phaedra feels a way about what Quad said to Heavenly, what Heavenly let the girl know that she said about her. But she said she felt like she stood up for Quad, and she just felt like she was stabbed in the back. Oh, now you know how it feels. Candy still got a knife in hers for that has your name on it. Hmm. So Phaedra has been practicing Reiki, which is energy work, and it brings her tranquility, peace, and strength. And she needed it when she was going through the situation with her and Apollo. So she's been trained in Reiki, and so she wants to have the girls to over to her Reiki masters um, area, like I guess this little studio or whatever, and have the girls come and release some energy and do some energy work. I was thinking about studying Reiki after I got my yoga instructor certification. I was said I wanted to. I got a reading, and she was like, the next step for you is Reiki. So I've been looking for a school to do because I don't want to do. I really don't want to do that kind of work online. I mean, I could do it online, but I actually want to go to a school and learn Reiki and practice Reiki because I mean that's just like it's just the right it's just like the path, right? That's like a normal thing for the path that I'm on. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. I thought it was interesting. I love when they introduce these things to these women. I just don't like when they get like, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, the blood of Jesus, the blood. You're like literally rejecting like a spiritual thing and then calling for the blood of a man to be washed over you. To protect you. I'm so afraid of hoodoo and voodoo and all that stuff. So I'm going to plead the blood of a man to be washed over me to protect me. But that should be so funny to me. It'd be so funny. It's like it's ignorant at the same time because I hate when they act like they act like they don't know anything else outside of Christianity and don't even know Christianity the way that they act. Ooh, the blood of Jesus. Ooh, only thing I pray to in this, and then you actually lay on the table and have some energy release that you need to release out of your heart space. Okay, heavenly talking about, oh, I feel it. Yes, girl, you feel it's energy work. We are made up of electricity, honey. Like a fucking battery, male and female. You see a battery, one end is male, one end is female. That's us, conductors of energy. That's it. You can't deny. I don't give a damn what Bible, book, Torah, Quran, whatever book you reading from. Energy cannot be denied. Period. In the discussion. So I'm here for it. She said, we're gonna do the Reiki and do some energy healing, energy work around the vaginas because these girls got some city girl vaginas. You got a lot of nerve, air mattress with the damn ankle monitor. We ain't forgot Phaedra. Talking about these girls got city girl vaginas. Okay, so that was Tanisha and Greg's scene. I'm gonna skip over that. Eugene and Toya, they go out, they have a good time, but again, like I said before, I just don't like the hyper critique of her. Like, to me, I feel like there's so many women in the world who are asking their partners for the most simplest things, and when you do it, I feel like you should be appreciative of it when you actually get them. Like, women every day are telling their husbands what they need from them, and it falls on deaf's ears. They don't hear them. They be nodding and saying yes and stuff, but they ain't listening to you because they never put forth the effort or put into action the things that you've asked them so that you can feel whatever good feeling you need to feel. He actually does it, and then you like hypercritical the entire way. Oh, okay, this looks like that kitchen. I give you credit for trying. Did he succeed? He was over there in love with the chef. They were showing like him with the little clouds around him. He was in his zone. He loved it. But if to me, I feel like if you learning how to cook, for me, girl, keep learning. What other meal, baby, you got to make tonight, honey? Come, keep cooking, honey. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't understand like why it seems like Toya. Am I the only one that sees that Toya is a little bit unappreciative? But I feel like at the same time, what Eugene is doing should be normalized. Like, that should be normal. women shouldn't have to keep asking their husbands to put forth effort to make sure that they feel wanted and needed and appreciated and loved and all the good things, right? Because at the end of the day, that benefits them too. Like, I don't understand why they only see it as a woman, benefiting, but you benefit from that too if you're cooperating and working with your partner to work with them. So I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know if I'm just like too critical of Toya because I don't really see it for her, but I feel like she gave him a 7 out of 10. She said she met him. Well, she already knew him, but they came into Ruth's Chris, and she was a server at Ruth's Chris. I said, "Oh, you were? Okay, I didn't know that." She was like, she was working on her master's. That's what I'm saying. This lady has her degrees and stuff. That's why I'd be like, Toya, you be acting like you didn't go to school. Like, you would really be acting like that. But she's like those people in Silicon Valley where the husband's like, your wife has how many degrees? We'll see if you can sit her ass at home. And so she doesn't even have to. You doing so well that your wife, with all her degrees, can sit her ass at home and drink wine and be on the tennis club. See if you can do that. So, anyways, they get to the Reiki instructor's studio. They have a sound bath. They're going to do a sound bath and a guided meditation. Heavenly and Jackie come in there. That's when Heavenly said she wanted the blood of a man to be poured over her to protect her. Um, and then Simone seemed like she liked the guy, the Reiki master, and she was like, they were like, well, who wants to go first? And then Heavenly was like, he could do me. She would. Then Simone was like, no, he ain't gonna do you because he gonna do me first. I said, come on, Simone. Heavenly start talking about her and her sister. She said, I don't know what's wrong with the bitch. um, I don't want to open a can of worms with her. I don't blame Heavenly. Like, if Heavenly is apprehensive, go with your gut, Heavenly. If it's not a good idea, don't open up a can of worms. Don't bring that into your space if you don't want it brought into your space. I'm here for it. I'm on Heavenly's side with that. So they did some energy work, though. Some of the women went outside, and then Heavenly and Phaedra and the Reiki master, they stayed inside. And Heavenly, she said she felt, energy being released. It was like in her heart space. And Phaedra was like, how did you feel after that? Phaedra had her little hair wrap on and everything like that. Phaedra, okay, was looking the part.